Oh, look, if Boom Talk keeps progressing and we got to Kosciuszko week where he is now, I'd be going into that race supremely confident. The way that I sort of came across Boom Talk was Casey Fogden trained him before me, and she was retiring, and the fellow that owned him, Ian Corozell, he called me about a couple of horses. He was one of them, whether I'd be interested in taking them over when Casey retired, and obviously I was keen to give him a go, and that sort of went from there. You know, he won his first 4 for me, and he hasn't looked back since. Boom Talk's no different to any other horse. You know, he's pretty straightforward. He's an easy horse to train. He's an easy horse to ride. He's very genuine. You know, there's nothing out of the ordinary. I mean, there's no secret. He just does his work and turns up at the races, and I think that's the key. He's a proper racehorse, and I've just got to keep him fit. Every time we've stepped him up to a new level, he's met that and then some, and his win on Magic Millions Day was outstanding. He came from an almost impossible position, and he was dynamic late. So, you know, as I say, he's one of those horses that just keeps stepping up each time he's asked.
Boom Talk's gunning it down. Boom Talk coming over the top. Boom Talk.
Magic Millions Day last year was pretty good for us, that's for sure. We got 2 winners on the day. Derry Grove won as well, so only had 2 runners. 100% record on the day, and you know, we do focus heavily on horses from Magic Millions, and we try to sort of, it's only 40 minutes up the road, you know, so it's a good race day for us. The more we can have, the better, and that was a very special day for everybody. I can tell you that was something that we'll remember for a long time, because you know, we had a bunch of owners there in a box that we take every year at Magic Millions, and there was plenty of cheering. His pet distance is somewhere between 12 and 1300, and I mean, I think that's the sort of horse you need going around for a 1200. You know, he's got to get up the rise, and you know, you need a horse. You know, out and out sprinters can be sort of found wanting over the last 100 there, because no matter what the distance at Randwick is, you've always got to get up the rise. So the fact that he can stretch out to 1350 is certainly a benefit going into Kosciuszko Day. Proper genuine sprinters that are adaptable like he is, they're the ones that are hard to find. He can lead, he can sit outside leader, he can come from back in the field. When he's ridden soft, he's got a dynamic turn of foot. When he's ridden on speed, he sticks on very well. So, you know, I think that's the key. He's so adaptable to any circumstance that may come up, and you can assume that Kosciuszko is going to be a pressure race. So, you know, with the horses going hard up front, if he happens to not draw a good gate, we can just ride him soft and let him use his turn of foot late. I think the upside to Boom Talk is he's still reasonably lightly raced. You know, he wasn't taxed early, and I was lucky enough to get him after he'd been looked after early career, and you know, that alone will stand him in good stead to race on for many years to come. He doesn't exert lots of energy in his gallops or his track work, you know, so that alone, at the moment, if he keeps improving, which he will, I believe. If he keeps improving, he's certainly going to be up there with some of my better horses, that's for sure. And he's probably already there, to be honest. He's a very, very good racehorse. Getting a horse right for Kosciuszko Day, it's a bit of a unique situation, because you've got to have them up and racing well to gain interest to get their spot in the race. So it's one of those cases where you're trying to get them to peak once, twice, maybe 3 times in a prep, but it's very difficult to do. You know, we've got the luxury with Boom Talk, perhaps, that he's probably already done enough. You know, what he does from now on probably doesn't really matter that much. But that's the key when you're trying to get horses, or get people's interest in horses. You've got to have them racing at their absolute peak, and then turn up again on Kosciuszko Day, and that's the art to it. I just know the racehorse that he is, and I haven't screwed him right down yet either. There's still plenty more to give, even though he's sort of, both of his runs, his preparation have been very strong. There's a bit left in the tank, that's for sure. So based on what he did last prep and this time in, I'd be going into that race pretty confident.